How to relieve lower back pain in seconds. We're gonna be going over 5 different exercises today that will help provide relief for your lower back as well as your hips. Let's get started. So we're gonna be using a bench or a box. I prefer box, it's a little bit higher. That first exercise is going to be an elevated pigeon rotation. So in this position, you're gonna bring your shin on top of the box. If you're super mobile, you can keep a 90-degree angle here. If you're needing to adjust, you can always push your knee forward and create more of an angle with your shin and your thigh. And then in this position, we are going to do a pigeon fold, I like to call it. So you can start to watch a clock and you're gonna do 30 seconds of a pigeon fold rotation. I'm gonna take my opposite hand, reach across the knee, and then come back up. This is gonna help release your butt, piriformis, and provide some relief for your lower back. So I'm gonna go 30 seconds here. In this position, I'm reaching, opposite hand can be on my thigh, on the box, or if you want a little extra, you can put it in your lower back or off to the side. That's gonna allow you to get into a deeper stretch. The more you reach forward, the more you're gonna feel that stretch in that back of the butt cheek. You're gonna do 30 seconds on one side, then you're gonna switch and you're gonna alternate legs. I like to alternate legs when I do my stretches. It allows me to give that one leg a little bit of a stretch or break, and then I'll come back to the second set or second side. So same thing here. I'm getting my thigh as close as I can to the edge of the bench or box. I will say when you use a box like this height, it's going to be a little bit easier versus a bench that's maybe a little bit lower, but do whatever is best for you. You could also modify this and do it on the floor. It may be more challenging. That's why we're elevating the surface. Same thing, 30 seconds here where I twist and reach. Now my right side's a lot tighter, so if your side is right side tight, start there. 30 seconds of that pigeon twist, reaching past that knee. That's the first exercise. Second exercise, also if you're new here, I'd love your support by subscribing, turn on the notifications bell, and please sharing this with others. Hopefully it helps benefit them. We're gonna go back to this pigeon fold position. Now instead of dynamically moving, we're just gonna hold this position. You're gonna actively push your leg into the box, thinking of like lifting yourself up. You're gonna press and you're gonna hold this position for 30 seconds. If that's not doable, a modification would be to relax into that stretch, fold yourself down, bringing your body to your thigh. Now, if you are very flexible and you wanna challenge yourself with this, arch your back or reach and extend the back so it's flat and then hinge over. If you're really tight, it's okay to round and bend. Again, we're trying to release the glute and the hip here to provide some relief for that lower back. 30 seconds. Then you're gonna switch and go to the other side. If you guys wanna follow along, you can just start that watch, clock, phone, whatever you have. Again, 30 seconds here, either pressing away, being in an active stretch here where I'm pressing the thigh into the box, or I can relax into it going down. Because my herniated disc on my right side pushes a lot on the nerve, it's hard for me to get down into this flexed position here, so I just like to stay elevated. All right, that was the second exercise. Third exercise, we're actually gonna flip around. We're gonna face away from the box. This is gonna target more the front of the hip, and this will provide a lot of relief for your lower back. I can speak to this from personal experience. All right, so we're gonna start again, left leg. Since I've started everything on the left leg, we'll start there. We are gonna do an elevated couch stretch. My foot is on top of the box. My ankle's right at the edge here, so I can kind of get a 90-degree angle between my shin and my ankle and foot. Opposite leg's gonna come out in front. I'm gonna bend this front leg gently. And in this couch position, I wanna think of tucking my pelvis under as if it was a bucket of water. So I wanna make sure it's not tipping forward. I wanna think of bringing my hips under and bringing my belly and bladder kind of forward and under. You should feel a stretch in the front of the leg here, hip, quad, maybe the top of the knee, depending on how tight you are. Some modifications, if you wanna make it challenging, inch that front leg further away, drop into that stretch, right? I can even push my hips away from the box so I can tuck under more. That will require a little more stability and strength of this front leg. If you're looking to not really utilize that front leg, then again, hop back and slowly sink down. Sink into this, 30 seconds here, then we'll switch 30 seconds on the other side. Now, if you're doing this on a bench that's closer to the floor and your knee's a little sensitive, you can place the ab mat on the ground. Knee will go on top of the ab mat. That'll provide some cushion for the knee. You can also do this against the wall. When you do this against the wall, it will be more challenging because your ankle is extended. We'll switch legs so you can see. So essentially, if this imaginary wall is right here, we're gonna have my foot up against that imaginary wall, right? So my ankle would be all the way extended like this versus being in a neutral position like so. So again, nothing wrong with that position. It will be more challenging because it is going to require a little more mobility and flexibility of that ankle and of that shin and of your entire hip and quad. So 30 seconds on each side. Feel this. Tuck the pelvis under. You can also squeeze your butt cheek. As you squeeze your butt cheek, that's going to contract this muscle. The opposite muscle on the front will feel a more intense stretch. Hold that for 3 to 4 seconds, release, and then continue to do that. So that was the third exercise. Now we're gonna face the box. We are gonna do a hamstring stretch. So we've done the pigeon fold on each side, the pigeon hold, we've done the couch stretch. Now we're going to do the hamstring. So single leg hamstring. I like this as it allows you to be elevated. If you are having a hard time getting to the floor, this is a great way to incorporate the stretch. Hamstring stretch, leg extended. I prefer to have your ankle off the edge of the bench or box. This is gonna make it a little bit easier versus right on top. I'm gonna face the box. I'm gonna keep my hips square versus rotating one hip out. And then I'm going to slowly walk my hands forward. Now, if this is very, very difficult, to make it easier, you're gonna bend the knee, then hinge. That will relieve some of the stretch, right? Another option is to round that upper body, right? You could drop your forehead, drop your head, walk those arms out. If you wanna make it more challenging, you need a deeper stretch, you're very flexible, then lift those toes, so you get a stretch in the calf, straighten that back, hinge only from the hip joint. So you're thinking of bringing the rib cage belly to that thigh and knee, reaching, reaching, reaching. 30-second hold. Same thing, switch, opposite side. I recommend starting on the side that's tighter. So for me, that is my right side today. We're gonna get as low as I can. I did hamstring, some banded hamstring curls, and then I did some banded good mornings. So if you're looking to strengthen your hamstrings, those are great exercise. They will tighten obviously the muscle, but provide you more definition. So I'm gonna stretch those today. So again, same thing, round as much as you can. If you wanna alleviate some of that stretch, bend that knee or even point the toe. That's gonna change the stretch a little bit. If you want more, flex the toe. Beautiful. All right. We're gonna come back out. Again, I'm not holding for the whole 30 seconds, but you guys can do that. I recommend that. If you feel more comfortable and you want more, increase to 1 minute for every exercise. All right, fifth and final exercise or stretch here. This is gonna work a little bit more the inner thighs. So we are gonna still use this bench or box. I'm gonna put my left leg up on top. Couple ways to go about this. I can either place my heel down, this will get more hamstring as I stretch down, or I can place my entire insole of my foot, so think arch, toes, inside of the foot a little bit on that bench or box. So this is gonna be more of a inner thigh groin stretch, but it will help relieve the back. So I'll show you guys a couple of variations because there are some variations here. I can keep my back flat, stretch forward, push my hips back. I may feel a little bit of stretch in this right leg. Notice that the box will want to push out depending on how heavy it is. So don't be afraid to adjust and modify depending on where you're at. So from here, I'm just gonna push with straight legs. I'm gonna feel a hamstring stretch on this leg. I'm gonna feel a little bit of an inner thigh stretch on the opposite leg. So I'm gonna hold here for 30 seconds. If it's too much, bend that bottom knee. I can also come back up and I can just focus on leaning in towards my foot and leg. Another modification. You will feel that stretch a little bit more here, depending on how tight you are. If you want an additional stretch, I can even bring my opposite arm, so my left leg's on the box. Right arm's gonna come up, I'm gonna twist, reach. Notice my opposite arm is on the inside. I'm on my thigh, not my knee joint. So whether I'm like so, or if I'm pivot on my heel, opposite arm's gonna come up. This is gonna get into that rib cage, a little bit of that lower back as well. So you're gonna reach, elongate, press into the thigh here, and then reach the arm. 30-second hold there. So those are some modifications. So from the opposite side, I'm gonna show you guys, when I'm doing this reach here, notice that my lower back here, as I'm reaching, I'm trying to create a little bit of an arch, or I'm going straight up. If I go straight up, I'm gonna elongate this side. If I create more of an arch, I'm gonna elongate this side. I'm also gonna shorten this side of that lower back. So the QL, one of the muscles kind of in that lower back area, gets really tight for me. This allows me to stretch it out on the side. I just felt my back pop. I don't know if you guys heard that. So those are the 5 different exercises you use and incorporate. A bench or box is ideal. If you don't have that, you can maybe utilize a couch. If you're at the house, maybe a chair, but please make sure it's stable. So if you are having back pain, these are some exercises that can alleviate it in seconds. If you found this beneficial, helpful, please, please share with others. I'm trying to help as many people as I can, and sharing this video would immensely help me. If you want to help me in other ways, you can comment, subscribe, like, and feel free to check out the links below. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you guys next time.